How's everybody doing today? On the last video, we had tooled this one. This is one of my pattern packs available on my Etsy store. I'm just going to kind of show you how I prep everything to get ready to transfer this design onto a piece of leather. So if you do buy this off of the Etsy store, whenever it prints off, this is how it's going to look minus that. I was just doodling around. So what I normally do is I bought a big roll of like some transfer tape off of Amazon. Comes in a big roll like this. So I'll just take, figure out, okay, need about yay much there. And we'll go ahead and just cover the whole page. So that way, we can go ahead and cut all three of them out. Roughly about there. Make sure that it gets pressed down good. You definitely don't want any air bubbles. So whenever I go to put it on the piece of paper, I'll bend it back on itself like that. Start in the middle, let it work its way out. And doing it that way, I haven't had any issues with any air bubbles or anything like that. So that's how I'm gonna keep doing it. And so what this mainly does is while your leather's cased, it's going to help protect it, and it's going to allow you to use it multiple times. So I'm going to be doing a video later on today. We're going to tool this one out, and I might go ahead and do one for this one as well. So I'm just going to kind of go ahead and break this one off from the rest of them. We'll set this to the side for now. And then we're gonna go along the outside edge, so that way you can just plop this down on a piece of leather and then just go ahead, so that way you can trace the outline of it and go ahead and transfer your design all at the same time. And I've done this multiple times with hand drawings and stuff like that as well. I don't get super crazy about making sure that my cuts are 100% on, or like jagged edges or anything like that, because as I transfer it onto the leather and cut it out on the leather, I'll smooth it out there. And then also while I'm gluing everything together, I'll go through, sand on my edges real nice and smooth. Here in a minute I'll show y'all I guess a slot punch, I guess is what you'd call it, that I use if you're going to be making a lot of knife holsters. It's definitely a super handy tool to have. I mean, you could just get a hole punch and punch you a hole there and straight cut it, but it doesn't look as professional as something like this. So I use these a lot. This is just a craft tool. Works real good. I've only had to sharpen it maybe like once or twice. I use it for belts, knife holsters, everything. So I even use this tool whenever I'm punching out those for my patterns as well, just because that's what I'm going to be using on my actual knife holsters. And then, 1.5 inches is probably your most common size for your belts. So, and since this is going to run at a little bit of an angle, I make these slightly bigger. I want to say 1 3/4 inches. Yeah, about 1 3/4 inches. So that just makes it a little bit easier to get on the belt too. So there we have it. It's ready to go onto a piece of leather now.